Thank you so much. We may get seated. And at this juncture, I request that moderator, we receive the report of the Training and Personnel Development Committee.
Thank you, thank you. Good morning. Praise be to God. How are you faring? Aya, sijui kama mlima unaonekana. Ukiwa hapa wakati mwingine asubuhi, ukitokea pale kwa barabara, look right, look left. Beyond the ridges there, you can see Mount Kenya and the snow-capped peaks. I hope it's still visible. It is usually visible in the morning. So usitoke hapa bila kupigwa picha ambayo inaonekana kama umeguza mlima. Inaweza kuwa zoomed ije hapa karibu, because that's where you are in Mount Kenya. Otherwise, we are also glad to be here this morning. A bit of roll call. Kajiado. Pairing. Mwana Karanja na muona. Roiro. Where is Reverend Murigi? How can he walk out? Okay, make sure you bring him before we proceed very far. Nairobi South. Nairobi South. Elder Kaigwa was here yesterday. He is supposed to be paired. The pairing was to come today. Very serious. Who are their neighbors? Elder Kanoli, you are their neighbor? Did he tell the DSG? Very serious. Very serious. Akirudi, see me. Logere, you are here. Thank you. At least nyinyi ni wazuri. Mnaonekana hapa. Nairobi South, who are your neighbors? Bwana Kanoli, try and reach Elder Kaigwa. Tell him we need his pairing. The minister who was to come. Not right now, not right now. You can take a minute. Wewe ni msafi. Wewe huna dhambi. Wewe umefanya ile inastahili kufanywa. So take your time. Call him, tell him we need his pairing because his presbytery is not represented now. Nairobi East. Nairobi East, New Nairobi East. Oh, these are the two gentlemen we asked that they come. They are here without name tags. So they should be assisted by our secretariat so that they can get the name tags. We hope you have the docket. Do you have it softly? No. You'll be assisted. You are now members of this GAC. As from the business committee decision yesterday, you are members of this GAC. Those who are members of the business ikiitwa, you are members. So talk to the secretariat quietly so that you may know you may get what you don't have, maybe including accommodation. Mulilala hapa? O mmelala kwa barabara mkija? Aya, lakini mutasaidiwa so as to settle. Thank you. You are received and you are now part of this. Reverend Murege was once lost, now he is found. Pwani. Elder Karigido, good. They are in the house. Joro. Elder Lucy is in, but Reverend Matiko is away. Can you look, search, and find Reverend Matiko? Who is not in? Nyeri. Where is Reverend Kiravi? He's the chairman of? So? There is no other meeting that is going on other than preparations for us. So get hold of him and tell him to dismiss that meeting unless it is related. to our stay here. Shuka. Reverend Mudhomi is here, yes, I had seen him earlier. Good. Imenti Central. Oh, you were seated there, that's why I was looking for you. Where is your pairing? He is back there. Aha, who should I suspect is not in? Who should I suspect? Tomo Tomo. They are in. Well, that is a good sample. We now, as directed by the Secretary General, we are going to receive the report of Training and Personnel Development Committee. Since I serve in that committee as the chair, I want to invite Past Moderator Jesse to come and take this seat as Training and Personnel Development Committee presents its report.
Moderator, sir, and the Assembly, this Personnel and Training Committee has subcommittees. Allow me to invite them to come and take their positions here. Lay Training and Conference Center. TE to come also and join. Presbyterian College Lubate and also Puer. Kindly come in front and take your positions here. Lay Training, TEE, Rubate, and Puer. Thank you. The report is found in document 5. Document 5. We present the reports of training together with the accounts also, the audited accounts. Document 5. Training and Personnel Development Committee report to the second GAC of the 23rd General Assembly. The Training and Personnel Development is a crucial department in this church, which mainly deals with training and developing the church personnel locally and abroad. Human resource of any organization is the most important component, hence the need for this department. Training of ministers has been going on at all levels, certificate, diploma, undergraduate and postgraduate programs, both locally and overseas. And there seems to be a high interest in learning for both clergy and laity, since our church is a learning church. The church in our growth must take into consideration modern and sophisticated lifestyles in the view of addressing them in our proclamation of the gospel and other emerging issues. In our approach to human needs, the church must undertake to train a diversified and competent manpower to address these needs within and without the church. It is fair to say that whereas the level of education of our personnel is high and advancing, there is need to match it with the levels of spirituality. During the year under review, this department continued in steady progress despite the inevitable hindrances and difficulties that are common in Christian pilgrimage. We are grateful to the Almighty God in whose guidance we have reached this far. The year under review, the committee had held 3 meetings. Students in school. The committee successfully carried out interviews and selected suitable candidates for the Holy Ministry who went to the following institution for theological training. And yesterday, remember, they were here and they were commissioned. For regular students, to St. Paul's University, there are those 6 of them, and because they are in your dockets and also following from the PowerPoint, allow me not just to mention every name. 6 of them, they are there in St. Paul's University. Presbyterian University, we have 15 of them, from Francis to John Maina Muikamba. They are there as named. Tent making, St. Paul's, we have 4 of them, from Monica to Muturi wa Muiru. And for the Presbyterian University, 17 of them, from Jospat Kabiro to Maurice Maina Mwangi. They are there in your dockets. All the students reported to the colleges and are progressing on well. In the year under review, the committee received progress reports for the student ministers from the 5 regions as to plan for the exit interviews. Those were the ones that were ordained. We received the report and then they were handed over to the appointments, and therefore we cannot have their names because they will be in the other report of the appointments. Composition, the Training and Personnel Development Committee comprises of the following subcommittees, which they are here: lay training, theological education by extension, Rubate College, and Presbyterian University. Allow me, moderator sir, because there is one person we are waiting for from lay training to come in a few minutes, I begin with TEE so that they can present their brief report. Each is going to present a brief report, and then I will call upon the chair to second the report. Allow me to invite TEE to give their brief report.
Thank you, moderator and the GAC. I want first of all to introduce the chairman of TEE Board of Management, Elder George Gitao is here. I'm going to, because we have the report, I'm going to just go over it, highlighting the key issues. That is D511. The first thing there is general information about the department, just to remind us that we are mandated to empower our members of the church, and sometimes we go outside the church so that they can be grounded in faith. The objectives are there. We have 3 and we have repeated them. We know the reports. Our Board of Management, as per the year the review, is listed there, starting with the chair, who is also from Rift Valley, to the Director of Training and Director of Missions. We have 6 staff listed there, number 3, and also 2 part-timers who helps us to run prison ministry and guidance and psychological counseling, listed in the docket. We have stations in different places. Mainly, the main one is at the Presbyterian University. We have an outlet in Ruiru Town, Dr. Adha Nakuru, head office, also Nyeri Presbytery offices, St. Margaret Pwani, and Chuka. We had staff changes. Mr. Elijah Wambogo, or Elijah Wambogo, left to take a job with Nyeri Presbytery, and Monica Kamau requested not to renew her contract starting from December, and left in December 2022. The courses we offer, just to remind us, is T Basic Diploma, our main course and the signature course. T Advanced Diploma, Holistic Nurturing of Children, the Crossing Mentorship course. Diploma in Guidance and Counseling. We also do Ministry to Prison. And we're also doing the Spiritual Growth Discipleship program through Bible study and this program. I'm going to mention that. Graduation for basic, just to mention where we've been through the year. Central, we did 22 graduations for TEE. Let me just mention TEE, the others you can read. Rift Valley, we had 12 graduations for TEE. Nairobi, we had 14 graduations for TEE. Eastern, we had 5 graduations for TEE, and Mount Kenya, we had 10 graduations. Also, we went beyond and had a graduation in a church called ACC and S. And moderator, that is the church that gave me my wife. Number 8, we have advanced diploma, where we had 13 graduating at the Presbyterian University, and also in the same graduation, we had 73 graduating with the diploma in guidance and counseling. Some of the achievements, as I come towards the end, is we have established the online learning, especially the T-Basic Diploma is now fully online, including tests that are done virtual. We have done the revision of all T-Basic Diploma books, and we are trusting God to do all the others. We have also been able to rebrand what we used to call the TEE for Teens, now Crossing Mentorship course, which we are working together with PSMF and Women's Guild to ensure that it's rolled out through the church. Prison ministry, to empower it, we have done a prison ministry partnership proposal, which we are now sharing with the partners to see that we can be able to get more partners in that area. Theological conference, this we started in the year under review. We had a very, very successful first ever annual theological conference in Mombasa, which was opened by the moderator of the General Assembly, and we are planning another one also going forward this year in August. Bible study guides, we are working on developing and rolling out a Bible study guide for the church. We have already finished the first volume, Christian in Politics. We're now working on the second one, and soon they will be rolled out. Challenges through the year. One of it is that since COVID-19, our salary arrears grew significantly. And to respond to that, we are popularizing the T program and trying to ensure that we have more classes. And this is bearing fruits, as you can attest in the crowd. Another challenge is through participation in prison ministry. As I said, we have done a proposal which we are sharing with the partners, and we hope it's going also to help us get more funding. Lack of uniformity in the structure. We are making a proposal to the committee working on the constitutional review, as I've written there, so that we can have some structure of TEE in all the parishes. Low number of members in TEE. I think we have proposed that we are going to continuously do aggressive sensitization through all available media. Low popularity of advanced diploma. Of course, as many of us, moderator, we may know, at the beginning, people were told to lead them to Holy Ministry, but so that we are making, we are proposing 2 things to do going forward: reduce the number of the units, and also introduce an academic format of the theology through extension. And finally, the last challenge is lack of learning materials for teens that has been proposed to us, and we are working with the relevant departments to propose the right materials. Moderator, sir, allow me to turn to page number 6 and just mention that in the year the review, we were audited, and just to mention the total income for our department moved from 14 million in 2021 to 15.6 million in 2022. Gross surplus moved from 11.1 to 13.2, and expenditure moved from, of course, 12 to 14. So the deficit for the year, at least we didn't make profit, but our deficit reduced from 1.7 to 1.6. Note 2, 3, and 4, and 5 can guide. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I wish to call upon Rubate to present their report.
Moderator, sir, good morning, everyone. I am Mukundi. Allow me to introduce the BOM chairman who is with us today. Here he is Dr. Kanga. He is with us today. The document is document 5.15, Presbyterian Rubate College. We have the preamble. It says that the college was started in 1993, as you can see there, and it has been working hard to achieve its mandate. And the mandate was to train P1 teachers, and the vision and mission are there indicated: preferred Christian teaching and training institution, and the mission is to teach and train honest, quality Christian personnel able to discharge professional duties and be effective Christian witnesses. The core values, they are there. And you can see the management. We have the board of management. They are listed there. We have ex-officials. They are listed there. And the college is managed through committees. And you can see all the committees are there. A note there, we're saying due to COVID-19, the BOM was appointed a year late, and that is 2022, and therefore they shall serve 2 years in their first term. We can see the staff, the number of staff, the teaching staff there, the non-teaching, part-time, the university, and the TVET. So in total, the year under review, we had 22 employees. College student enrollment in the year under review, you can see we had 42 students. Physical facilities, we have quite a number of physical facilities. You can see we have the assembly hall, the science laboratory, computer laboratory, library. We have other items. We have the university coordinator office. We have other offices like administrative offices, 10 staff common rooms. We have several there. Accommodation and catering. We have all those hostels. They are there and they are for use by the students and the staff. In partnership, the college has continued to have a very cordial partnership with the Sonka, Carlo, and the Kent Scholarship, and we shall continue to renew friendship and partnerships. Challenges facing the college with the new CBC education system introduced by the government. Certificate programs have been replaced with the diploma programs whose entry grade is C, and as a result, the college has not been able to recruit enough students. Actually, it is C for those who are doing teaching, C and the C in all subjects. C want to do what used to be called ECDE. Number 2, we have TVET colleges. It's also facing a serious challenge because most of the students prefer to go to public TVET where they can have access to government scholarship, and due to lack of enough students, the college will temporarily stop recruiting TVET students. All students with the C+ and above are admitted to the universities, and therefore they no longer prefer to do diploma because, again, the entry grade for diploma, especially for teaching, is the same. Marketing and recruitment of students is a great challenge as market has become very competitive, and the changes of government policies on education have impacted negatively toward teacher education. Due to low enrollment, the college is struggling to pay its creditors and also to pay the salary of its employees. Achievement: the college remained open despite the low student enrollment. In the year under review, Presbyterian College Rupert campus presented 16 students for graduation. For conferment of degrees and diplomas, they graduated on 9th December. 3, the college has held weekend challenges, rallies, and open-air meetings. It is also ready to partner with the PCA congregation in their mission work. Way forward, to deal with the issue of low enrollment, we propose the following. Pursuant to the General Assembly Resolution number 8 of Document 5, discussed by Secretary General Assembly of 18th General Assembly, PTC Rupert was directed to diversify its programs by offering prior degrees and the diploma programs. For this resolution directive to be more effective, prior should actually work with the PTC Rupert to manage its campus. This is because Rupert has physical facilities needed for a campus, and the prior has human resource, capital, and experience required to manage a campus. To realize this resolution, prior and PTC Rupert has formed a task force that will help PTC Rupert become a campus of prayer. The college has registered a school of nursing whereby they are training Kenya registered community health nursing, and this college will admit its first nursing student in the month of March. Just to report, already we have received the maximum. We have told you to recruit 50, and we have received the 50, and now they are in class running. So that challenge is overcome. The Presbyterian College Rupert has adopted a new name for the college in order to embrace all the programs. Instead of calling it Presbyterian Teachers College Rubate, because now teacher training will be one of the main institutions, we have adopted the name Presbyterian College Rubate. We have also a new logo. You can see the old logo, and that is a new logo that we have adopted as a way of rebranding. We thank the Almighty God for guiding us through a very challenging year and a review, and we thank the 23rd General Assembly officials for their continuous guidance and help during this difficult time. Thank you, and God bless you all.
Thank you so much, Rubate. Now the training is ready to present their report.
Moderator, sir. I'm Danson Mwangi from Lay Training Center, and I'm here with my director, Very Reverend Dr. Mwamba. I'll take you through document 5, PCA Lay Training Center and Conference Center. I'll go the introduction and the board members. We go to vision to be a premier Christian training and conference center. And the main pillars are empowerment, capacity building, and business ventures with objectives to develop capacity building programs, leadership training programs, establish research and development desk, develop counseling and chaplaincy training center, establish a vibrant business and a conference center. Currently, the courses that are being conducted at Lay Training Center, we have the evangelist training, and we do diploma and certificate, and they are awarded by PUEA. We also do elders training for the elders before they are ordained, and also we have refresher courses for those who are already practicing, and it is usually a one-week course. We have the ministerial formation course for the ministers. Once they leave the universities and colleges, they come there for ministerial formation. And we have the wellness psychosocial program. That one we usually target the police officers who are serving as chaplaincy in their various departments. And also we have the general chaplaincy course that was introduced by Honorable Matiang'i to replace the counselors in schools. And that one is also a diploma course awarded by PUEA, but we train at Lay Training Center. So we are also planning to have refresher courses for the practicing elders, practicing ministers, and pastoral care, suicidal ideation, loss and grief, debriefing, professional ethics. And we have already said that those who are interested will be having classes of minimum 20 packs, and we can proceed once we have enough to start up. And we have other services besides the training. We have training halls and lecture halls, conference and workshop facilities. We also hire the ground for events. We have meeting rooms, accommodation, outside catering services. We have a Nyamachoma eatery, car wash and parking, and family days also. We also conduct them to subsidize our funds. Finances. The center maintains itself by raising money through various services rendered to groups and organized training facilities. So the Lay Training Center is aggressively embarking on sourcing for training and capacity building program funds locally and abroad to cater for those who are unable to meet the cost for training at Lay Training Center, especially the Nendeni areas. And also we have the curriculum for the eldership training course. That one I won't go through it, but it is there. And in the year 2022, we have a breakdown of all the parishes that trained at Lay Training Center, and they are very well indicated there. And in total, we trained 306 elders, which was almost 100% increment from the previous year, since it had been affected by the COVID, but now we have picked up again. We also have There is the curriculum also for the diploma in chaplaincy. This one maybe I can go through it very fast. And we usually target institutional ministries, special need ministries, military, police service, transport, air, marine, rail, and land. We also target health institutions, business institutions, correctional institutions, and civic organizations. During the past 2 years, we were unable to conduct the training since the 4-term per year could not allow, as this was a school-based program. Now that we are back to the normal school calendar, we shall conduct recruitment for diploma in chaplaincy immediately. And also we have the report on the evangelist training, diploma and certificate. We have 45 evangelists who graduated in PUEA, diploma in theology, evangelist training in the last graduation. And we have evangelists in certificate class, which is ongoing. They're supposed to be clearing next week, 25 students. And also we have diploma students in the same group that they will be clearing next week, and there are 34 students. And out of the 59 students, it's good to note that 42 of the students are sponsored by the donor, and we have 17 students who are on partial sponsorship. This is because of reduction of the donor fund, so we have opened up partial sponsorship where you pay for accommodation and the tuition is catered for by the donor. Late training, future plans, and way forward. We have already the architectural documents, and they are being processed now so that they can go for approvals in the following areas. Also, we are facelifting the old building, which is already done. We repaired and painted the exteriors, and we are also working on the parking. So far, we have done the ballast only, awaiting cabro paving once we do the major projects. We are also following up with KENHA of a new challenges that the Late Training Center is facing as we try to work on the limited area between the road and the main building after part of the land was compulsorily acquired by the government. The Late Training Center will also upgrade and further put up new residential training facilities within the year 2023-24 with a priority of 40 to 50 modern self-contained rooms. Late Training Center will also join the PCA head office and the legal officer to fast track on the available options towards recovery of an Isuzu Giga customized sound truck that was imported from Japan by Northcore Enterprise Limited 3 years ago on refund of funds, as it has never been delivered. The contract was signed on 24th November 2019 between the vendor, who was Northcore Enterprise, and PCA head office, which stood for the Late Training Mission and Evangelist Training Program. And the details are also indicated there. It was one unit of motor vehicle, Isuzu Giga. Chassis numbers are given there, engine number, year of manufacture, 2013. And the registration was to be done once it's in Kenya. Total purchase cost that included specified customization and full outdoor sound system fittings was supposed to be 12 million and was paid in 2 installments, one on 24th November 2019 and the other one on 3rd April 2020. And further, the seller requested to be paid by the head office an extra 1.5 towards the unpredicted logistics in Mombasa port. We rest that one at that, and then we go to appreciation. During the year under review, the Late Training Center appreciates God for showering blessings. And we also appreciate the GA office, the 23rd General's Office, for continued support and encouragement that has enabled a healthy coexistence between the late training center and the PCA head office. We also thank all the PCA ministers and elders within the PCA, presbyteries and parishes for trusting on this institution to train your staff and members towards empowerment and capacity building within the PCA fraternity. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, the training, for their reports. Last but not least, I wish to invite Presbyterian University to present their report.
Moderator, sir, and all present, good morning. Bwana Sifiwe. I am requesting Reverend Muraguri to project the summary that you've done, because the report was a bit long. My name is Reverend Professor Wangari Mwai. I am a minister in Nyeri with the Anglican Churches of Kenya, and therefore in Pwea and even here I feel very, very much at home. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I'd like to introduce my chair of the council, Professor Grace Gare. Yes, so far I've witnessed a lot of support. I also had another member, I don't know if he's still in. Esther, please, Dirango. Yes, she's a member and in charge of HR in the council. Thank you, Moderator Chair, sir. I'll go on now with the report. The university status 2022-2023. The university has continued to attract students who are self-sponsored, church-sponsored, as well as those from the government, through the Kenya Universities, Colleges, Central Placement Service, that's the COOPS. We have thus witnessed a very progressive year. Summary of staff and student population is there. We have teaching staff, full-time are 79, part-time are 36, volunteers are 5, adjuncts are 5, a total of 125. Non-teaching, moderator, sir, we have 63, and then therefore the total staff is 188. Student statistics as per program. Business, we have certificate 9, diploma 43, degree 133, and this is one program that has masters that is doing very well, 205. Education, no certificate, 44 diploma, 669 degree students, bachelor degree students, and for masters we have 9, a total of 1,722. Computer science, certificate 8, diploma 23, degree 87, no masters as yet, 118 in total. Health sciences, no certificate, no diploma. Bachelor's is 455, masters none, so the total is 455, all of them doing a bachelor's degree. Criminology, we have 9. The health sciences, actually, all of them are doing nursing. We are currently preparing the curriculum for clinical studies. Criminology, we have 9 in certificate, 33 in diploma, 25 in degree, and 0 in master's degree, and therefore a total of 67. Hotel and tourism, certificate is 11, diploma 17, bachelor 61, master's 0. We have 89 in total. Theology, 20 in certificate, 69 in diploma, 106 in bachelor's, and no masters as yet, 195 in total. Communication, we have 15 in certificate, 44 in diploma, 431 in bachelor, and masters is 0, 490 in total, and therefore the total number of students is 3,349. For those who would like to follow, it's in D519, page 19 to 28 for in the docket. This is just a summary. Then we have deferred students are 37, so the grad total of registered and deferred students is 3,378 currently. Total students population by sponsorship as of January 2023 this year, We have students sponsored by the sponsor, the PCA. We have 31. Students sponsored by the government are 3,732. Self or private trade-sponsored students, 691. Therefore, a total population of 4,454. The degrees we are offering, we have 2 master's programs, one in business and the other one in education. The bachelor's are in business, theology, computer, education, science and education arts. We have a Bachelor of Arts in Communication Studies, B.Ed in Early Childhood Education, BSc in Hospitality and Tourism, BSc in Nursing, and BSc in Occupational Therapy. The diploma programs on offer are 17 and certificate options are available. We have an issue we'd like to raise on marketing, and we are arguing that to improve on the student population, this need to enhance our visibility. Some of the proposed strategies are: 1, encourage Presbyterians like you and me to particularly make Puer the university of choice, be self-enrolling, and all their children under the various ongoing programs. 2, accredit more programs with the Commission for University Education to ensure government sponsorships through the COOPs. And I've said we are now writing the program on clinical medicine, clinical officers, and it's almost ready for. We did a stakeholders meeting, and we are moving it now to queue for assessment. Attract more self-sponsored students by operationalizing the Presbyterian Church of East Africa philosophy and practices that will enhance our competitive advantage and uniqueness. We are talking about Christian values, and if we enhance this and make it a competitive advantage among others, universities, we are going to attract more parents who trust us and other sponsors who trust us. The university will continue to advertise its programs through all existing channels within its reach, both within the country and across the region. This will be consciously done by use of print, audio, and online platforms, purposefully to attract more private sponsored students. Collaboration with stakeholders. You have a number of them, 7. PCA, Church, the General Assembly officials, the role of universities to further the mission of the church based on the 4 pillars: spiritual, health, education, and community service. So we are continue collaborating with our main sponsor. The Rafiki Foundation of Florida, USA based in Mwiki Kasarani, offering Christian-based classical education at certificate and diploma levels meant to enhance early childhood education. Cindy Kadla, a keen supporter of Puer, and team are due to visit Puer in May this year to address further collaboration. Dogoto and Kikuyu communities have been very supportive in offering accommodation to well over 600 students at commercial rates. Number 5, the 2-story building of the CEE and Resource Center funding by Presbyterian Church in Korea is in full use and planning to host the graduate school. Our education students are placed for teaching practice in neighboring schools, and the nursing students are also placed in medical institutions within the Kiambu County. Achievements. We have an effective and vibrant university government in Council, which is instrumental in streamlining operations at Puer, led by Professor Gary. For the week I have served with them, I've found them very, very vibrant, very, very supportive, and with huge dreams for the university. I am the new VC with effect from April 2023, and the expectations they have given me is to bring the much desired transformation at Puer, and I pray that God will use me as his tool. Consistency in paying staff salaries. This had been a major problem. We are achieving it now. In conjunction with the PCA Church, Puer hosted the academic symposium on 40 years women ministry on 1st and 2nd September 2022, where the chief speaker was Reverend Dr. Nyambura Joroge. 5, Puer class of 2022 graduated, and I've had other institutions saying they graduated at Puer on December 9, 2022 in a colorful and successful ceremony graced by Dr. Ezekiel Mutua, CEO Music Copyright Society of Kenya, as chief guest. A total of 686 students were conferred with various degrees and diplomas. On the path of honoring deaths with the KRA, we are on that path, and part of the accrued arrears, all in form of pay-as-you-earn, have been paid. The process of subdivision, titling of land is on course. The debt with LSEC is now fully settled. The PCA, our major sponsor, paid Kenya shillings 401 million against the University Cooperative Bank loan with a commitment for annual capitation. Number 9, the university has developed more curricula, 37, to be submitted to Q for approval. These curricula are in criminology, sociology, IT, special needs, counseling psychology, masters in theology, masters in peace, security and pandemic management, and clinical medicine and surgery. Challenges is even the country is crying about this, debts and liabilities. We have that debt we've mentioned about with Cooperative Bank, which the sponsor has assisted in to some extent. We have a debt with KRA for pay-as-you-earn arrears, litigations, staff gratuity arrears, and then 2, this is a major challenge we are trying to overcome through marketing, is over-reliance on COOPS placement for student numbers. The country is crying that private and faith-based universities should not be getting students from the government, and therefore this is a major risk for us, and we hope that we can overcome it soon. Indexing of nursing students by the Nursing Council of Kenya. This has been a struggle between Q and the Nursing Council. The Q says that as long as they have registered, they have accredited courses, the professional bodies should not interfere. So there's a back and forth. I've already consulted both parties. Thank God I was working with both parties before, and therefore we are hoping that this will be over soon. A medical cover for staff. We walk and travel by the grace of God. We hope this can be overcome soon. Way forward, we look forward to a vibrant strategic marketing for the university programs to increase the growth of students. We look forward to fast-track the process of registration of pending programs with Q, as well as think of more market-driven ones. As a matter of urgency, address the stalemate between Q and Nursing Council, so the nursing students are indexed. And actually the students, board directors are already getting agitated, and we hope to solve this very, very fast. With funds availability, construct additional students accommodation and renovate the existing learning facilities. Streamlining research as a core function of the university through local and international partnerships and grants, and encourage competitive grant writing. The University Council is very keen, and I'm delighted that Professor Grace is a very renowned researcher who we can work with very, very closely. Develop strong online and other programs. Develop strong postgraduate programs up to doctoral level. That G is for you, because most people here have masters, moderators, sir, and therefore we have quite a number of students here. Please register with us. You're going to make sure that we bring more and more doctoral programs that are flexible and that will make you work and learn. Then streamline the staff through competitive recruitment to ensure efficiency and effectiveness on all our operations. That's a very tough job, but we are promising to do it with your help. In summary, analysis of the current obligations, financial. The first one is the creditors, going down up to number 15, no, not 15, 19, where we have a total of 1 billion and above. But we also have debtors, up to number 8, where we have the large debtors, and the total is 280 million. Therefore, the deficit is at 754 million and above, almost 755. Thank you, and God bless you.
Moderator, sir, that is the report of Training and Development Committee, and I wish to call upon the chair to second the report.
Moderator, sir, in seconding the report, I would wish to say that we are grateful to God that after a very competitive process, we were able to get a new Vice Chancellor for Puea, and she is here. You have heard her. and we want to commit her to God, even as she works with the management, the Senate, the council, and the trustees, because these organs are well spelled out in the charter, who does what. We have the trustees, we have the chair, we have the secretary general as the secretary to the trustees, and our rules are spelled out. We have the rules of the council. The chair of the council is Professor Grace Gary, who is our member, and their rules are well spelled out. They are the people who really do the management. They look at the budgets and the personnel. They are doing their job well, and the rest. So our joy is that good things can happen. As we mentioned yesterday, we are glad that the university now is facing the bank loan as it should, unlike previously when we had some things that were not going very well. We are also glad to be part of St. Paul's University, where again I serve as the chair of the Board of Trustees. We have students there. For some time, we had a challenge of someone, a representative of our church. But God, in his own gracious ways, we got a young man, though not ordained, Dereba Mureithi, Dr. Mureithi, who is working there in the department where we had been invited to second someone, and we were not able to. But he just mushroomed and got into the position. So I personally have decided to work with him pastorally so that we can see what will come out of it, because he has the right training and he has the passion. So that's a low-hanging fruit that we need to pick and eat. Therefore, we work with him. Of course, we have to work with him in the Presbyterian way. We are therefore very happy about the many things that are going on going on late, in spite of a number of challenges. And with those remarks, I second the report.
Thank you very much. That is the summarized report of the training institutions now combined. There's a lot more, they just summarized. And if you are to draw a graph, then you can see the developmental growth, the changes that are there. We must appreciate that we are not where we were yesterday. 2 years ago or several years back, there was a moment of retardation because of the problems that were on our way. Please digest this, and as we keep on thinking more about the prophetic and the kingly and the priestly role as we face those institutions, let's keep on praying for them. Now, with a summary of a report given, would you like to put some questions so that then we have what we didn't hear from them can now be answered when we ask questions? Question number one.
Thank you. Thank you, moderator, and the entire GAC. Mine goes to rate training. There is that issue of a truck, and there is this company called Northcold Enterprises. Were the procurement procedures, the right procurement procedures followed? And also, what are the credentials of this company? It sounds very new to me. Maybe it's a known company, but it's good that more light is given about this company or this enterprise.
Thank you. And to help the people who will be answering this question, don't ask a roundabout question. Be specific. What is it that you want to know? So that again we don't follow you going around. So thank you. I can't see well, but there's a hand. Torisha there behind you. The man behind you. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator, sir. My question goes to the Presbyterian University. In regards to the pursuant of the General Assembly resolution on starting the degree courses in Robert College, how far is this matter, sir? Thank you.
Thank you. Reverend Kagwamba.
Two questions, one on Lubate and the other one on university. If you look at the Board of Management and the staff, both combined are 40 in number, against the backdrop of 42 students. Now the question is, didn't the management of Lubate see it coming when the government talked about changing the education system to CBC? Did they just wait for it to come and get them off their pants? Moderator, the second one. On the university, we have seen that the government have given us 3,732 students, and the other 112 students and just sponsored about 900. Now, what is the university doing in the event that the government withdraws sponsorship? Are we going to survive? Moderate.
Question given. The brother there.
Thank you, Moderator, sir.
Wait for the mic. Now you have it.
Thank you, Moderator, sir. I've observed that our Queer University, which is a church institution, doesn't have a master's degree in theology or divinity in any way. We would like to understand, I would like to know why a church institution doesn't have a master's in theology, theology being a very core business of the church. The other thing that I've noted is, you've noted in the various institutions, there is some duplication of courses. I don't know what the board is doing to ensure that there is communication and that duplication does not resort to unfair competition.
Okay. I haven't had any question from a lady commissioner. Please get involved. Get involved. Now, ndugu mwenye mataa inaanza angalia juu tu inatungua macho. I am blind as far as I fanya hii angalie juu.
Thank you, Moderator. I'm glad to hear that our university is doing very well. I just wanted to probably have some input. You are offering hospitality. You are also offering occupational therapy. I felt like it would be nice to add foods and nutrition, considering the issues we have about food insecurity, about famine. I think it would be nice to add probably in future foods and nutrition so that we address the issue of health and the issue of food security, considering that the role of a university is to disseminate knowledge. Thank you.
Good. This side, the one at the corner there, that side.
Thank you, Moderator, sir. Mine is to the TE. I think some things need to be done to the TE to attract young people. Because nowadays, it is referred for these old people, so they needed to improve their curriculum so that it can have a lot of things so that it can attract young people. Also in the term of certificate, I think maybe young people are not attracted by this. It is theological education by extension. So something needs to be done to attract young people and even students in other institutions. Thank you.
Elder Gige, Vea, Jeru.
Thank you. Thank you, Moderator. I find it already as if we are already there on the issue of COOPs providing students to the university. Because I had it actually in the parliament and it was actually in the newspaper. When I looked at the number of students I'm finding in education, we have around almost 3/4 or beyond 3/4 of the student comes from COOPs. And I find it is important whether the university is devising ways to use our hospitals to do attractive courses related with medicine, which can attract more students. Because if we remain with the program.
And then Rubate, TEE, and then Puea. Late training on the track.
Moderator, let me respond on the question to late training concerning the soundtrack and whether the procurement process was followed. I'm here to confirm that before the purchase was awarded to Northcore, procurement process was done and a team was sent to go and source for the truck in the several people who sell the vehicles in Nairobi. And Northcore Enterprise Limited, box 7862, Nairobi, is a renowned car dealer in Nairobi, and he has a car yard at Karen. And after they settled on him, they also did a very comprehensive agreement which had to be signed at the head office, and all the details are there. So the procurement was done. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Concerning whether Robati saw the CBC coming or it was caught by surprise, I want to say the problem of enrollment at Robati is not unique. It is in all the teaching colleges, because the TSC improved the requirement for those joining those colleges. And at one time, I know there were only 500 people who qualified for all the colleges that are there in Kenya, that they were shared among just a few of them, and that's a problem that is common. We saw it coming because we started TVETA programs, and unfortunately also, they seem to also have a problem because the government seems to be more embedded into getting them to the public, or that the government-sponsored institutions, and the private are having a problem because capitation that is given to those in government make them go to the government colleges and they are not ready to go to the private institutions. That's a challenge we faced. Then at the same time, now we have started the nursing. It has been reported. That one is doing very well because we were given by the Nursing Council a capacity of 50, and already we have the 50 students who reported this month. Thank you.
Moderator, sir, the Tea Department has one question in regards to how we can make young people be attracted to the TE. I want to answer in two ways. Number one is that the content is okay because theology is theology. Probably it's about how we present and how we deliver. With the advent of online classes, we have had a lot of young people. In fact, the whole of the first batch of more than 100 people are all young people. So one way is to popularize that online program because it's attractive to young people. We are also going to consult widely, Moderator Sir, and see what other rebranding ways we can do so that young people are more attracted. Although even now we have some young people who are also forming groups in churches. We just graduated a group of young people in Kamboi. So we are going to consult widely and rebrand and also see how we can attract not only young people but all the groups in the church. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator Chair. I think we had most of the questions. I want to start by appreciating the input from my sister on enhancing our hospitality and medical training, food and nutrition course. And I want to acknowledge that highly because we are in the process of bringing in new courses and introducing them and doing the curriculum. Actually, last night I talked to the proprietor of this hotel and he was asking whether you have food production as a course because he would like to sponsor some students. So we are going to move very, very fast. We are longing to go back and prepare for that. Thank you for that addition, for that contribution. I think, Mr. Moderator, sir, I think I'd like to leave it to the Board of Training so that we can continue discussing some of the things that have been raised, especially our relationship with Rubate degrees. What does POEA plan to do? I don't want to imagine that I can answer that now, but we can handle that maybe later. The issue of no theology course in a theological college, yes, I also thought the same when I got in, and we are going to do that very, very fast. Masters in theology and also PhD in theology, and that is why I was encouraging you to be part of us. We are going to move very, very fast, and I promise with my board, with my council, that in the next presentation, when we come here next, we'll have a very, very positive report because we are also very, very concerned. And this also contributes to the answer on the COOPs. If you have a strong master's class and a strong PhD class, these people are self-sponsored, or even they could have scholarships. And therefore, you don't have to rely on COOPs for masters and PhD. However, as I said during the presentation, we are working very, very hard to make sure that we market our university. And I gave a number of marketing strategies we are going to use, starting with us as Presbyterians and going out locally and also going out regionally, because you have students from Rwanda, you have students from Uganda, you have students from Malawi, TZ. So we hope that we can use the same students, we can use the same routes to attract students regionally and of course beyond our nation. On the duplication of courses between TEE and the lay training and POEA, I think that I'll leave it to the chair of the Board of Training so that we sit together and we see what can be merged, what can be utilized, and what can be done to make it so that everything is streamlined. So I would like to stop there. I think I've responded, if not to all, to most of the questions. But on the issue of COOPs, it has been a major issue since the Matiang'i, my friend Dr. Matiang'i era. Most private universities have been struggling. This is just an announcement that has been happening at the lower level. You find that you get very few students if you have private or you have faith-based. Therefore, it is not very, very new, and most private universities have been alert on this, and therefore we will try to use all these strategies to make sure that we have our own. It's amazing that 3/4 of the students are actually from COOPs, and we thank God that at least we have them, but we hope to move from there. Thank you so much, and God bless.
On duplication of courses, one, we have to appreciate the youth bulge. That there is a very big population of youth who need skills, who need higher education. Therefore, the more opportunities we have, the merrier. As they say, the more the merrier. Therefore, if we would improve on quality, I think there would be no harm in having, courses all over, because we have a very big catchment, even from our own church. We are challenged when we sometimes say we have no students by those who know PCA. They ask us that PCA itself is the catchment. Before you even try to go beyond our boundaries and even to other denominations, PCA itself has a very big catchment. Therefore, I'm sure if these courses in the various institutions were well-fashioned, we would have a challenge even of admitting enough. If Rubate had certain courses, late training, our university, I'm sure it will not still be adequate. Therefore, I think the point is making those courses more qualitative and pleasant, and of course looking at the fees, to make the fees attractive. We have a very big catchment. And they say, where I come from, that when animals go out for pastures, each one of them gets a share. When the animals go out to enjoy the pastures, one does not eat the portion of the other, provided, I don't want to put it in my in my mother tongue, but I'm sure you are able to tell what I'm saying in our vernacular. That when the animals are out there enjoying the pastures, each one of them will get a portion. Of course, meaning that you just need to have enough pastures. So we can have those many courses offered in the various institutions, provided quality is there, competitive fees, and you know how big the youth population is. Thank you.
Thank you. We have now had the answers. Let's have 4 comments, again, without making a speech, but a brief, direct comment, either encouraging or whatever, motivating, and so on, so on, so on. Now we begin with the lady here, Jennifer Mishemi. Give her a mic. Mic man, come, take it.
Thank you, moderator. Mine is to commend late training for being able to sustain itself, and that is the way we should go. That they're able to generate incomes and to run their programs well. Let us keep on supporting them by sending elders there. They do good program. They teach our elders well. Thank you.
Thank you very much, brother. Mike, people, be on your feet and fly if you can, or throw it.
Thank you. Thank you, moderator, and the GAC. My comment goes to rate training again. On the area of eatery, since in that area, the rate training is only praised that is non-alcoholic. On Sundays, many people flock there with their families, and therefore, if the area of parking can be addressed soonest.
The area of?
Parking lot.
Parking lot.
It can be better. Good job.
Cool. No. Not that I'm selective, but let's ask our brother here.
Thank you, Moderator Sir, and the Assembly. Mine it is to them all, because they are dealing with the education. Let them form a research, risk management, and something else that will collaborate them all on what they will research for them all for the market, in that they are able to deal with the market that is there. Because they don't have that, everyone is going out for himself, and that's why at times they are getting some risks. So they should develop a market and research body within them, in that they can handle the problems that are teething to them all. Thank you.
Finally, the brother there, you stand, not you standing now. Can't see well with the light there.
Yeah, thank you, Moderator Sir. My comment is regarding doctrine or theological training. And I feel like we have gotten to a point where we have too many doctrines amongst us. I don't know if I would be exaggerating by saying that we have as many doctrines as we have ministers and elders. So I think what we should have is a more robust theological training. We thank God for lay training, we thank God for PUE and TEE. But what we hear from people who have gone there does not really have a standard. We have all kinds of teachings, even on TV. We hear things about demolishing altars, about generational curses, about redemption of firstborns. Do we have a standard as PCA regarding our doctrine? So I think there ought to be a body or some sort of a desk that reviews the composition of the courses that are being offered, so that when elders go there and ministers go there, they're well grounded and they sound like one voice. Thank you, Moderator, sir.
Thank you very much. Since all of you are stakeholders, and quite a good number of you are scholars, I'm sure the team would not mind if you write a comment or a question, well phrased, not an attack, good suggestion. Let there be some transmission through which it can reach them. They can always improve, because we are helped by, we have to motivate one another, like we have the theme of the men's fellows. Thank you very much for the comment. Let's have now the resolutions.
Thank you, Moderator, sir. The document, page 29, document 529. 1. This GAC receives the report of the Training and Personnel Development Committee together with its audited reports with gratitude. Further, the GAC appreciates the good work done by this committee.
Agreed?
2. This GAC notes with concern that Ndeni areas are unable to meet elders' training fee, and thus this GAC instructs the Finance Committee to allocate empowerment and capacity building funds for Ndeni areas.
Accepted? When you say yes, say a healthy yes. Yes?
Moderator, I think that is already provided for. Ndeni board, there is already a fee charged to presbyteries for annually for Ndeni board. So it seems like the resolution is directing creation of a new charge, but the charge is already there. Maybe increasing and to what level, but that charge is there. And when you finally go to the financial statements, when we go to the finances, you realize that actually that money is charged. What may be lacking is transmittal of the money.
Does it sound a repeat or?
Yeah, it sounds like a repeat.
What would you say about it? Are you talking about the same? Go ahead.
I think, Moderator, the resolution is quite healthy and it is due time to take this. Many of us who have Ndeni areas and mission areas, it becomes very difficult to train elders. And the resolution is talking about training of elders, not what maybe has been there. And I think in the mission board we do not have such provision, and therefore if it is provided, those that are in Ndeni mission areas will benefit and the presbyteries will benefit likewise. Moderator, I would propose that resolution stand as it is for the benefit of mission areas.
Are there people with similar mind? Shall we keep it? Okay, let's since it doesn't hurt anybody, there are hymns we sing with a chorus repeated 7 times. So it's a good chorus to keep on hammering. Thank you very much. Move on.
Number 3, this GAC notes the good work done by presbyteries and parishes in ensuring that all student ministers, elders, and evangelists are trained at PCLA Training Center towards empowerment and capacity building.
Accepted? Let's move on.
4, this GAC welcomes the new BOM of Presbyterian College, Rubate, and notes with appreciation the role they are playing in diversifying program being offered in the college. Accepted? 5, this GAC appreciates the good work Presbyterian College Rubate has embarked on in starting Presbyterian College of Health Sciences, which will admit its first students in the month of March 2023. Is that accepted? 6, this GAC notes with appreciation the progress made by Presbyterian University of East Africa and PTC Rubate in establishing Puea Rubate campus. Further, this GAC instructs the two institutions to speed up the process. Is that accepted? Yes. 7, this GAC appreciates the Presbyterian University of East Africa for the role they play in producing champions with the relevant and essential competences and skills for service to God and humanity in the modern world. Further, the GAC requests all the presbyteries to embrace, support, advertise the university programs for their members and friends and encourage them to enroll with the university. Is that agreed? Please build the university cross-sectionally. Where we stay is a way of advertising. So don't only take the resolution, carry it home, do something. Thank you. 8, this GAC notes with appreciation the role played by the Chancellor, GA officials, University Board of Trustees, University Governing Council, Management Board, Senate, and the entire university staff for their untiring efforts towards sustaining growth of the university. Agreed? That's a very weak yes. Agreed? Yes. 9, this GAC appreciates the role played by the sponsor in getting the university charter 2 years ago. Further, the GAC appreciates the sponsor's contribution in assisting the university manage its assets and liabilities. Agreed? Additional? Thank you. Addition?
This GAC notes with concern the over-reliance on government-sponsored students. Further, this GAC instructs Presbyterian University of East Africa to come up with an elaborate marketing strategy to cushion the university in the event of government sponsorship withdrawal. Is it clear?
Did you hear what he said? No, not that I didn't hear. Digest that quickly and give me a response, please. Is it good or do we... Are you talking about it? Not another one? You are supporting it? Have you written it, brother? Can you rephrase it so that we swallow what we are going to digest? Say it again.
This GAC notes with concern the over-reliance on government sponsorship in our university. Further, this GAC instructs Presbyterian University of East Africa to come up with an elaborate marketing strategy to cushion the university in the event of government sponsorship withdrawal.
There was a one that was accepted about, which we were talking about going there in the villages, in the presbyteries, at home. We hear what our brother is saying and we appreciate what he's saying, but it's going to be a repeat unless we want to have another verse of a chorus that sings this. So shall we take it or leave it? But however, do you take the message he's giving? Swallow it and please make use of it. Thank you very much. Any other resolution?
Yes, Chair.
Yes.
There's one additional. This GAC appreciates the recruitment and hiring of the Reverend Professor Wangari Mwai as the Vice Chancellor of Puer University, and wishes her well in her appointment.
Is that accepted? And it goes with some prayer. When you are at home, keep on praying. Pray for the pilot who is in the air so that we can have safe landing when we get there. So keep on praying and let her know that she is appreciated. Thank you. What else do you have to say, sir? Or madam, I can't see well. Oh, sir.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Moderator. So I'm back with my theological matters. I just want to propose a resolution. This GAC notes with concern the need to revamp theological training in all our institutions, and therefore resolves to compose a theological desk to review the theological courses offered in these institutions to ensure that they ground the learners well in Reformed theology and Presbyterianism.
Is that accepted? Is that accepted? Did you had what I said?
Right. Please. The resolution is good. Already, there was a theological desk in the church. It's only that it fizzled out. I guess when the ministers go for their flatano, they need to revive the desk so that it can handle the matters that the minister is talking about, because they are real concerns. They are real concerns. So I guess if the ministers, when they come together, if they are able to revive, which they are able to, they revive the theological desk with competent theologians of repute, then it can help us maybe in the proposals that the minister is making.
Do we all accept the report given, questions asked and answered, and the comments, and keep on appreciating, and trust that one of the wings we have to use as a church to fly is through the enablement, through the training personnel as we fly into the future, not as fools, but people who are educated spiritually and all the other way around. So we accepted the report and we are happy. If you stretch your hands and give a good clap, that will be it. Thank you very much, all the reporters and all the questions. Thank you very much. Bwana sifi. Mwende mkasome vizuri ndio jibu maswali.
Tupigie moderator makofi kwa kuendesha hiyo squad. Hiyo squad yameiendesha vizuri, sivyo? Unajua kuna dereva unapatia squad gari inaingia mtaro, lakini huyo dereva ametuendesha vizuri, gari bado nimeipata iko kwa barabara. Thank you very much. Before maybe there's details as what's the next item, can we again do a roll call? New? Oh no, this is not new. Nairobi South Presbytery. Nairobi South. Have you been able to reach Elder Kaigwa? Oh, he's on his way back. And you told him to come and see me. Thank you. You are a good emissary. Mukoroine, are you in the house? They are in the house. Nyadaro. They are at the back. Shogoria North. They are in the house. Okay. Youth. The youth coordinator was to report today. Is he in the house? Okay. He had an apology not to be there yesterday, I think, and the day before. So I invite the SG to give us the next business.
Moderator, our next business is the report of the Presbyterian Church Men Fellowship.
Karibuni. Mkiitwa mtaitika au mtaanza kuangalia nyuma? Wapi mwenyekiti? Looks like he's not around, so I don't know whether we skip your.
So we
skip your report and move to the next one, maybe.
And in that moderator, we skip for a few minutes. I look for him right away. He was seated at the back. He is here. He is coming.
Is he ready?
He is ready, kindly.
Felix, Reverend.
We spent the night with
Are you ready to start with your director? Okay, then.
Thank you, moderator, for the indulgence. Quickly, moderator and the GAC gathered, we will take through a brief summary of the PCMF report, and this is in document 14. In our preamble, we joined together. As PCMF, we express gratitude to God for yet another opportunity to grow in faith, witness, and service as a Christian united force of men, as reflected on the work done under the year under review. Great achievements have been brought through congregational and parish witness, through recruitment of men for admission, dedication, and commissioning as part of Christian discipleship, with an intentional focus on mentorship, greatly this time since we noted more older men in the men ministry. Our focus has been greatly also on raising the young Presbyterian Church Men Fellowship. Our strategic focus directions have been informed by the vision. We envision the maturity of men and the service to the glory of God. And our core objective through the mission, or purpose of existence, has been to remain a united Christian of men with three core pillars: matters of growing in faith, our witness, and the service to Jesus Christ. Core values are there. The highest fundamental driving forces are through integrity, faithfulness, commitment, humility, passion, zeal, and teamwork. Our motto has been informed by where we draw the scriptural mandate from Romans chapter 12, from verses 1 all the way to the end. By the core scripture is Romans 12:11. Never be lacking in zeal, but keep the spiritual fervor, serving the Lord with a heart full of devotion. We have continued to perform our duties through at the national level, through the board of management, or the board, and we have the chair, Reverend Michael Jige, Reverend Francis Joroge from Nairobi region. Normally the board members are from regions. We have elders from regions and also ministers at different times. And we have two co-opted members. One, Elder Gideon Karanja, who represents the Pan-African Presbyterian Men Forum, and also our IPCMF champion, Engineer James Kenywa, and I serve as a secretary. The theme of the year, when the 23rd General Assembly gave the theme, Consider Your Ways, the PCMF has continued also to focus mainly on the line of mentorship and drew a theme again, a sub-theme from 1 Timothy 6:6 on godliness with contentment. And this one has propelled the men ministry through the year, and really it has anchored our year through. Some of the achievements, we did have our initial takeoff conference for leaders in the month of February. Then we also have operated through our 8 core programs. I will not go through all of them. And greatly mentioning them, we have man and the spirituality. That's greatly on training, encouraging men to have time for breakfast, meeting, dinners, and even time of training through the parishes. Man and mentorship, greatly this through the rite of passage, and also through the YPCMF training. Man and family, greatly encompassing times for PCMF to have seminars and family encounters in parishes. Man and education, more men are taking TE. Man and health, this has been a critical challenge and also an area to focus on. The men and their health, not only their personal health, but even the health of their families. Man and environmental stewardship, this is greatly on the area of tree planting and also cleanup of towns. Man and economic empowerment. Here, moderator, may I say that PCMF has been a key champion in the area of initiatives through SACCOs, and we thank God for much of the achievements through economic empowerment in that line. Man and overcoming addictions, we have continued to take the challenge and for psychoeducation, and the year we conducted a number of capacity building within the regions with a core facilitator. Our numerical growth has been reflected through part of the sales of the items, indicating how much we can reflect from what has come up through the recruitments. Admission, we believe we have the year under review, 3,400 men admitted. For dedication, entering to the second level, over 4,000. And the ties where we commission men, we had 2,500. And this one, I would say there has been an intentional recruitment and formation of YPCMF in most parishes, and this has been quite encouraging. Going back to PCMF Mission Week, year 2022, this was successfully observed in the parishes, guided by the program provided from the national office. And here we thank the moderator of the 23rd General Assembly, who really launched this in Nairobi at the Milimani North Presbytery in Nyari Parish under the sub-theme Godliness with Contentment builds peace and reconciliation, and reflecting on the character of Joseph in Genesis 50 verses 19 through 20. We also note many parishes did have their climax on November 6 with a major culmination, and this is a new wave we are noting, moderator, that whenever parishes are climaxing their PCMF week, some have done recruitments, and it is climaxed with new admissions, dedications, and commissioning. And I remark here, we note some of the parishes which did that year, the Githunguri, the Isiri, and finally we had PCA Kengongo, who did it live through CAC TV, and the director participated in that. Some of the parishes, through major arrangements, they did observe the year. The following week, those who had a number of other activities, like St. Andrew's Parish and PCA Naivasha Town, the following week, and they also climaxed with the commissioning, indicating more numerical growth. Maybe to keep the highlights, not going through every detail, we also had mission work. We participated in the Kitui mission for the Nedeni mission department. Also PCMF worked in partnership with Christian Education, supporting part of their endeavor to the schools. We have also worked with CAC TV in support. Then on an ecumenical and national engagements, working with the NCCK, you remember the year under review, we had the national process for general elections, and PCMF participated quite well. And at the end, they were able to give credible observers in the constituencies, in the county, and even at the national level, and also praying for the peaceful elections. Still on ecumenical engagements, we have had a journey on Pan-African Presbyterian Men Fellowship, PAMP, that is PAPMF, there is a typo there, and The members of the executive committee had 2 major Zoom meetings, and as they proposed to have the 3rd biannual Peace PAMF conference in July in Ghana, hosted by the Evangelical Presbyterian Church of Ghana. The year review, this one is, we normally give condolences from the head office, and we had 298 deaths recorded. We had also other core achievements. Okay, thank you, moderator. I jump there to invite the chair for the seconding. We did one other major key achievement on diaspora work, and we have kept our connections with the US and the UK, those who have migrated there, and we thank God. Major challenges, moderator, before I go there: spiritual apathy and lethargy in men. Men have been noted lacking interest and the concern for church due to barriers of full membership, hence cannot take Holy Communion. And this one keeps coming in every forum as a key challenge. And so also we have broken, strained families, relationships, where men appear to be more defranchised and they end up in alcohol abuse and domestic violence. And also we have the change in the education system with the new JSS, that's junior secondary, opened another Pandora box on the rite of passage. But having had a journey, we were able to conclude last year very well. I would say looking forward, we look forward in this GAC officially and thanking our moderator who participated in our journey of creating a manual, guiding curriculum manual for the ropes is already complete. We have a copy and we'll be forwarding it at the end of the GAC for official launch. We look forward also to have men participate in the African Christian men in response to climate change in the coming conference in Ghana. And we also are marking the 50 years anniversary, and we thank the moderator and the SG as they kicked us off in February this year.
The seconder, please,
so
because of time.
We call the chair to second the report adoption.
Thank you, moderator. I stand to second the report of PCMF. This report was received by the board of meeting on 27th January 2023 in Mirele Hotel, Nairobi. And after a few corrections, we agreed to present this report to the GAC today, and I stand to support it. It's a true agreement with the board of the members of board. Thank you, moderator.
So you second?
Yes, I second it.
Thank you. Thank you. A clap for them. Quite an elaborate report, and they have ventured in very many good areas. Boy child, men and families, and also environment, many areas. Questions? Reverend Gadege is right here, and one more that end. Reverend Gadege, simama ndio mtu wa mic akuone. Na hiyo mic ingine upeleke pale kwa mlango.
Thank you, Moderator Sir and the GAC. Congratulations to PCMF and good work. My question is related to the rite of passage. Bearing in mind the pressure and kind of sort of competition that is being experienced, more so from this thing of kiama nagwatandae. My question is, how is PCMF packaging this exercise so that it can attract more people, and that many people in our members precisely may opt to bring their children to be mentored in church setting rather than this cultural competition that we're experiencing? Thank you.
Thank you so much. I thank the PCMF report. It was a good report. I have two concerns. One is about the expensive ties. These days, the ties have been increased. I don't know why. I don't know whether they can reduce the prices of the ties. Number two, whenever they are lighting a tribute to the deceased PCMM members, sometimes the tribute is written in Kikuyu. I wish those tributes can be written in national or official languages. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Moderator. Mine is on the increase of men going back to retrogressive cultural practices, and what is the PCMF doing about it? Because most of our members, including elders, I'm sorry to say so, are in those, let me call them in quote, clubs, and they are going back there to those retrogressive practices. What is the PCMF doing about it in general for the whole church?
Answers? Quick answers.
Thank you, Moderator. Great questions. And number one, on how is the PCMF packaging the rite of passage experiences to be more, I would not say more competitive. Moderator, I would say our first approach was informed by research. And we did an audit through a scientific research with empirical data from one elder, and out of that we conducted an exercise, and from the mentorship manual we have, it has addressed key challenges on what is happening in the other part of the culture and what the church can give. For ours is not now an event. We want it to be a process informed by what Tanari Trust had done earlier. And I know we have competitive parishes like Kahawashukari, even Naivasha, where Reverend Gadege you served. And so out of that, I believe with the new flagship of using an informing document and also subsidizing the costs, we will be competitive and also give it as a discipleship tool, not just as an event. Secondly, we have the item on expensive ties. I believe this one has been a process. The ties, initially we had two categories of ties. One which was very local and very dubious, and through a general conference resolution, men agreed unanimously. We cannot go below our dignity. We will have to have an expensive tie. And we have tried to compare the competitive producers. And finally, what we have has turned to be the best and also accommodative. So for now, in the meantime, maybe I would say we still retain that because there is a resolve. And we have tried to check again whether we can reduce, but it remains at that cost currently. In the inflation, we were to put it a little bit higher because of the changes. Then on condolences, we normally have 3 versions. It all depends when one sends the request. If you clarify you need a Kikuyu version, a Swahili version, or English version, we go by that currently. Then men going back to the retrogressive cultural practices, I know there is a long debate. And I would say one good approach is information is power. And in the first round, we did a quick survey informed by a team that did a quick manual. But currently, we are still working on giving another second manual that would give key basic training, teachings on how we deal with incarceration and accarceration, so that we don't give a misinformed direction. But currently, our standpoint has been, what is retrogressive, we pronounce it as retrogressive. And what is positive, as per the priesthood of Christ, we raise it high. Thank you.
Okay, can we have comments? if there are any. Is Elder Heslam come out at the back? Mike.
Moderator, I want to commend the PCMF, the good work that they have carried for 50 years, and also advocate for the men that are not full members. They don't take the Holy Communion, and mostly when the Holy Communion starts, they are joined by their boys, the young men, and once they are out there, they just go home. What I'm wondering is actually the advocacy. We should at least now start thinking of how to open for those men, because most of the women that we have lived with, they don't want to ceremonize the weddings, and that becomes just the only thing that shut the men outside, not to partake in the Holy Communion. Time has come that we are not talking of gender now as female, but we are talking about gender men, that the time is now that we open for those men who are lagging behind. They still continue staying at home, not joining the church because of this a small thing called wedding, solemnizing the weddings. And that small thing, moderator, I think is the high time that we relax it so that at least men can start partaking. Most of them are saved, but just because they have not done the wedding, as a fact, the woman doesn't want to do the wedding, but the men continue suffering. And I think when we are celebrating 50 years, it is the high time that we rethink about that approach. Thank you.
I do not want to give the women a right of reply, but I believe Women's Guild and PCMF can talk, have a handshake over the matter, so that they may guide us, even as we are also part of it, in knowing what needs to be done to resolve that challenge. I am sure the mothers, the wives are also concerned about their sons who are not in Holy Communion, because much as the women are given that opening, but even they are also worried about their sons. So it's collective, but it is a real concern. One time a resolution was drawn by the PCMF years back about the same, but it was dropped. It was defeated. So can the two departments start talking even in our presence so that we decide on which is the best way forward? I'm sure you are on another matter, Reverend Jennifer. Yes.
Moderator, given the challenge we have with the culture, marriage, Christian marriage is important because you commit yourself to be monogamous, otherwise the other marriage is polygamous by nature. However, if it's the woman who is refusing the marriage, then situational you can allow such a man. But we should also encourage simple weddings that are not also very expensive. Again, we should also encourage people from commercializing bride price, because some people would want also to have simple weddings, but they say that they have also to sort out bride price. Those things we should encourage ourselves not to commercialize our ladies, but I would rather we still continue with encouraging men to have simple wedding. You don't need a lot of money, 5 people, so that you can be seen to be committed in your marriage. That is very important. But in case it's the woman who is refusing, then the best thing is mwanamke sasa akose kuwa full member, and then you make the man full member, if you are certain that it's the woman who is refusing the marriage.
Okay. It's a debate that we can go on informally and formally, so that we agree, all of us, there is a problem that needs to be resolved. The church has pronounced itself, as Reverend Jennifer has said, that if there is evidence that it is the woman or the wife who is not warming up to the solemnization of the marriage, she should be excluded. It's there, and it has happened in some places in the past. So that is there. Again, what she has said in regard to how can we have a wedding that is simple but still realizes our desire. We have talked about it. I don't know why we are unable to pragmatically address that matter. As ministers, as elders, why can't we have simple weddings that get people somewhere? I know there have been Jubilee weddings and quite a number of people have benefited because they are done as mass weddings. And they still serve the purpose. So teachers, we were told all of us are teachers in the devotion. So why don't we take up our role and discourage those things that PC has discouraged previously and encourage more men to be brought on board. Can we have the resolutions?
Thank you, moderator, and for those comments. Still on document 14, we have the resolutions. This GAC receives the PCMF report with the audited accounts, which are just towards the departmental accounts are combined for the ministerial departments. They are there, so I didn't touch on that. And this GAC receives the PCMF report with audited accounts with appreciation.
Taken.
This GAC receives the boys' ropes mentorship manual and instructs all parishes to adopt to the same, to transform ropes from an event to a process of spiritual transformation for all stakeholders.
Taken.
This GAC notes with appreciation the life of PCMF since 1973 to date 2023, which marks 50 years journey. Further, this GAC grants the fellowship to adopt a general attire on admission and dedication for men, which will be a general black suit with a white shirt, while commissioning retains the white shirt, the PCMF tie, and the maroon blazer as per the Constitution.
Was it in your narrative about the general attire of the black suit and white shirt and black shoes?
Moderator, I would say I've enshrined that within the apathy and the challenge, and within our discussions in the general conference. Twice men have said, would you allow us just to have a dignity of how we enter through PCMF, while we appreciate what we have in the Constitution, was for commissioning was the maroon blazer, the white shirt, and the navy blue. A general attire. The way even some of our other groups, they are having attires which are not going through constitutional way, but we noted to avoid the crash of the apathy and in the men, we crafted it under that to give them encouragement.
You have understood? Taken? Okay. Proceed then. Disruptive.
The men in black have been crafted as people who are destructive, and therefore maybe, as I agree with that general thing, maybe the color move to navy blue or something like that, so that we avoid the men in black.
Do you like that advice? You want to be in black? Should we allow navy blue, sky blue, crimson blue, all black as requested? Black as requested? Yes. Black or blue? Black. Black. Black is beauty.
Yes.
Okay, then it goes. We take the resolution.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, moderator. This GAC notes the spiritual apathy in men, and due to the condition of the requirement of church wedding for full membership, this GAC hence instructs that pastoral sessions consider the basic registration of marriage from the registrar of marriage, while the wedding party is secondary.
Would it be in conflict with our... Because what is it really saying? Let me understand.
Yes.
Requirement of church wedding to full membership. the pastoral sessions to consider the basic registration of marriage from registrar. I think we have, yes, Reverend Gary.
Thank you, moderator. I guess what he is trying to tell us is that what Jennifer was saying, a simple wedding. That's why he is putting the wedding party be secondary, not the primary thing. I think that's what it means, that we encourage them to have simple weddings. Just come to the church, go to the register of marriage, come, we bless your marriage, and that's all. The party can wait until you get money.
I'm looking for the word blessing. Because
moderator, the blessing is there. When we say the marriage, we assume the blessing
let's
is
not
there.
assume.
Oh, can they
Yes, you remember Mary and Joseph assumed that their son is in the crowd, only to get home and they had lost their son. So let's not assume, let's be sure. Is that what you are saying? What is the spirit of the resolution, Reverend Kaila?
Yes.
What is the spirit?
Thank you, moderator. The spirit of this resolution goes hand in hand what Reverend Jennifer had put, what moderator from your wise council you put through, that we encourage the simplicity. And you know, in the Reformed theology, is about simplicity. And since we cannot conflict with the government, which has given a guideline that if you have a wife more than 6 months or a husband, you should have registered. We encourage men and women to go and register. Then the pastoral sessions handle their part of now whether they will come to be prayed for, and then the wedding party becomes secondary. This is exactly what I'm saying. We encourage men.
Let's hear the SG.
Thank you. I love the fashion which was there, but I think we should be aware that in this country we have 5 types of marriages, and therefore if we allow the church to bless the traditional marriage, it will be in conflict with the Christian marriage, because that one is polygamous in nature. The kind of certificate they are given for those who have cohabited for more than 6 months, it is polygamous in nature. So that one, I think it would pose a problem if we allow that one to be blessed in the church.
I think the best approach maybe is to have the way it is already, where people go through the monogamous solemnization in the registrars, then come to church for blessings, and then the man is allowed to get into communion. That is already in existence. If people have gone through a monogamous process at the registrars, they bring the certificate to the church, and then it is blessed without having any bans proclaimed, without any witnesses, because all that happened at the registrars. So they just come in, they have done it at the registrars, so they come. And at the church then we say blessings in the ordinary service. And then the man is allowed into the communion. I guess that will still be safe for us. Yes, for marriage. Who is that? Past moderator, please.
Moderator, while we want to help our men, and we have all the sympathy, and indeed we want to bring them in, let us also remember the catechism leading us to baptism and confirmation, and the swearing that we will remain Christians and therefore we are not going to enter into marriages that don't go along with the Christianity. While we want to help men, and indeed we want to encourage them, let us not lower the bar so that it is people can freely walk in even when they go in a mess as they enter into their marriage. Let's have a standard. And let those people who have a question come to the local session and explain their predicament, and let the session help them. Otherwise, if we allow all people, you just come in wherever you collect a woman or wherever you collect a man on the road, and then you come here and we give you communion. We will lower the bar and kill the church because we want to bring in more numbers. Let us maintain our standard with all the sympathy, with all the concern, and encourage that the pastoral care and help be given. Thank you, moderator and the church.
Thank you. Since there is already an existing way of admission, even if one did the marriage at the registrars, there is an existing process. Why would we want to say otherwise? There is that one that is existing, where you go to the registrars, get solemnized through for a monogamous marriage, then bring the certificate to the church. We bless the marriage without many other, things surrounding it, and you become a full member. That we still keep. So why maybe would we need a resolution that we are not very clear about? What is it? Maybe bringing all overturning. So I guess maybe we do not need the resolution. We drop it. Yes, for safety. As they think we are still available for advice, we are still available for guidance, so that we look at those resolutions so that we don't offend much as we are concerned about men. So we drop that resolution. Any additional one? None. We clap for them as they take their seats.
Moderator, before we go for our next business, we have a choir in the house, and I'll request them to come and present. Then after that, we'll break very shortly for tea, and therefore immediately after they are done, I'll request the hospitality to tell us where we're going to have our tea. I'm waiting for the choir to come, the choir in the house. I'm told they are from Naivasha. Yeah, this is Naivasha Town Choir, so kindly take the floor.
Praise God. My name is David Gitau Muhia, Elder, PCA Naivasha Town, patron of this choir. We are happy and honored to be invited here. We are going to present a song under the theme of the 23rd General Assembly, and we are humbled even for the invitation of the Right Reverend Degu Mutahi and our SG, Robert, and we feel honored. Thank you. Thank you so much.
tupambane. Askari akilala anaweza kutekwa. Tukae macho ili tupambane. Tega sikio usikie habari hizi kutoka juu mbinguni kwa Mungu. Bwana wa majeshi asema hivi, Bwana wa majeshi asema hivi, sitafakarini njia zenu. Bwana wa majeshi asema hivi, Bwana wa majeshi asema hivi, sitafakarini njia zenu. Kama zinampendeza Mungu, utaingia Yerusalemu. Kama hazimpendezi Mungu, utatupwa jehanamu. Kama zinampendeza Mungu, utaingia Yerusalemu. Kama hazimpendezi Mungu, utatupwa. Matendo yako, tafakari. Ndoa yako, tafakari. Nchi yako, tafakari. Nia zako, tafakari. Matendo yako, tafakari. Ndoa yako, tafakari. Nchi yako, tafakari. Nia zako, tafakari. Hatua za mtu zaimarishwa na Bwana, naye anaipenda njia yake. Atapojikwaa ataanguka chini, Bwana atamshika na mkono wake. Hatua za mtu zaimarishwa na Bwana, naye anaipenda njia yake. Atapojikwaa ataanguka chini, Bwana atamshika na mkono wake. Bwana wa majeshi asema hivi, Bwana wa majeshi asema hivi, sitafakarini njia zenu. Bwana wa majeshi asema hivi, Bwana wa majeshi asema hivi, sitafakarini njia zenu. Kama zinampendeza Mungu, utaingia Yerusalemu. Kama hazimpendezi Mungu, utatupwa jehanamu. Kama zinampendeza Mungu, utaingia Yerusalemu. Kama hazimpendezi Mungu, utatupwa. Matendo yako, tafakari. Ndoa yako, tafakari. Nchi yako, tafakari. Nia zako, tafakari. Matendo yako, tafakari. Ndoa yako, tafakari. Nchi yako, tafakari. Nia zako, tafakari.
Thank you very much, PCA Naivasha. Is it Naivasha town or the entire Naivasha? Haya basi, usiende kidogo tu seme tumeshukuru kuja kwenu. Safari ya kutoka Naivasha kuja hapa sio kidogo, na mkaja na wimbo na haukupotelea jiani, mkauwasilisha vizuri. Tafakari katika kila hali, katika kila jambo. Pastor Moderator Gadhanju, ulikuwa Naivasha wakati mmoja. Uombee hawa sababu wameibia Bwana, wametushakamsha. Asanteni wana Naivasha.
Yes, Bwana asifiwe. Niko na furaha na hasa kutoka Naivasha. I stayed there for 4.5 years. So I'm grateful kuona vile mmekuwa na vile pahali mko. Wako na YouTube, kwa hivyo ukiangalia kwa mitandao utaipata hapo. Thank you and congratulations. Na tuombe. God and our Father, we are grateful. We thank you for the talents that you give some of us. It's a way of preaching the good news. We pray for this choir and also other choirs that have performed in this GAC and those who also come later. Bless them as they preach your word through music. We thank you for their traveling masses and even for the short time they will stay here. Bless our church and also let us use our talents in the proper way as they are doing. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Thank you. You can stay on. You are still welcome even as we proceed to the next session. SG?
Thank you, and you all agree with us. We have great choirs, and I think, moderator, we should have a resolution of having a symposium for the choirs, our choirs for PCA. I think that is one area as PCA we are outstanding, but at times we don't recognize it. So I think it is something we need to come up with. Hospitality. Reverend Elizabeth.
Praise the Lord. We have only 2 designated places for tea, Restaurant 1 and Restaurant 2. So we are requesting our choir, you hold a bit, so that the commissioners and the delegates may first take tea in the interest of time, and then after that, you can take your tea baadaye. Lakini yenyu iko. We pray. So you will not leave after tea. You might have another opportunity to bless the Lord with another song. So let's give thanks. Father, we thank you for the provision of a cup of tea and something to bite. We receive it with thanksgiving. Let it nourish our bodies, even as we continue to hear more of you. Remembering many who do not have, remember them as you have done unto us. For this we pray in Jesus' name. Thank you.
We may be upstanding.
Greetings! It is a pleasure to inform you that the Presbyterian Church of East Africa is holding its second GAC of the 23rd General Assembly from 11th to the 14th of April 2023. This year's GAC is organized and hosted by the Central Region in Bantu Africa Resort, Nyeri County. Commissioners from the 59 presbyteries of the church, as well as delegates from the departments and institutions of the church, will be in attendance.